fresh and a very wonderful morning to one and all present here. Myself Zainab Kagdi from Atmiya Green School, Jadeshwar, Bharuch. We are back with English subject for class 9th. Today we will undertake a lesson that we have already been started. So we will continue with the lesson, that is Unit 6, Weathering the Storm in Irza. So this is Unit 6 from the Moments book. So we understood from the story that it is a story of a village where a cyclone had hit Orissa in the year 1999 in October, and it had killed thousands of people and it had destroyed many villages. And for 2 dreadful nights, Prashant, he was a young man. So this is a story of, he's the main character of the lesson of this story. Prashant, he was young man and was marooned in the roof of the house that he had to stay there. He had to spend 2 dreadful nights on the roof of the house, and on the 3rd day he firmly decided that he has to go to the village. So what he find his family or not. So here we understood that so he went to his friend, that it was 18 kilometers far from this village. So he went there to spend his day with his friend, and in the evening the climate became worse. A dark and menacing storm quickly gathered. So here you can see in the picture the conditions of the environment over there. So they had to spend the night on the roof, you can see. And then we have completed till here, that after spending 2 nights on the roof of the house, what happened next? They survived on the coconut that the tree had fallen on the roof of the house. So they were not starving out of hunger. They had this coconut water and coconut to eat. So that is how they survived. So it was a blessing in the disguise, so you can say that. And then next, he firmly believed that he has to go to his village. So he took out the long sturdy stick and he started his journey from this village to his own village. It was 18 kilometers expedition back to his village through the swollen flood waters, and it was a journey he would never forget, as he constantly had to use the stick to locate the road, and he had to face, you can see in the picture here, a stick is in his hand, and you can see the houses are 90% underwater. Okay, the water was most shallow, and at places it was waist deep and progress was slow. So at several points he lost the road and had to swim. And after some distance he was relieved to find 2 friends of his uncle who were also returning to their village. So now from here point he had some companions to go along with him. So this is what we have completed till here. We will move up to the page number 40. By the next morning, as he took in the desperate situation in the shelter, he decided to get a grip over himself. He sensed a deathly grief settling upon the 2,500, that means 2,500 strong crowd in the shelter. 86 lives were lost in the village. All the 96 houses had been washed away. It was their 4th day at the shelter. Now students, what is a shelter? Shelter is a kind of a big camp where these people whose house are destroyed, whose house had been washed away, they took shelter in this particular place, where there was settlement was there for their eating, and it is kind of unhygienic, but yes, they had some place to stay, and they had a moral support as all the families lived there and took shelter over there. It's called shelter house. And Prashant, all of 19 years, decided to step in as leader of his village if no one else did. So he took the courage to start up the progress. He organized a group of youths and elders to jointly pressurize the merchant once again to part with his rice. So these merchants are the people who save their stuff, who have a storage of food. So they were not giving food to these people. Why? Because in return he won't get any money, because they had lost their houses. So eventually they lost their money also. So here they were not giving food, free food to the people who were the victims of these cyclone. So these Prashant and the elders, they jointly pressurized, they collectively pressurized these merchants to give the rice. This time the delegation succeeded and returned triumphantly. Triumphantly means they won the argument, and yes, they succeeded in convincing the merchants to part his rice with them. This time the delegation, wading through the receding waters with food for the entire shelter, no one cared that the rice was already rotting. Branches from fallen trees were gathered to light a reluctant and slow fire on which to cook the rice. For the first time in 4 days, the survivors at the cyclone shelter were able to fill their bellies. So still, since 4 days they were hungry, they were starving out of hunger because they had nothing to eat. They had no pure drinking water. They did not had even food to eat, so they were starving. Okay, and many people had died out of this. So now after 4 days they got to fill their bellies. Bellies means tummies. His next task was to organize a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filth, urine, vomit and floating carcasses, and to tend to the wounds and fractures of the many who had been injured. So now the first task of Prashant, which he undertook jointly with the elders and other youths, that he wanted to convince the merchants to share their rice with the pupil in the shelter. So he succeeded in that. Now the second task of him was to clean the shelter, which was filth, urine, vomit and floating carcasses, to clean such things with the help of the youth. He had a team, so he wanted to organize a team for a particular task. And to tend to the wounds, that means whatever the wounds and fractured, what injury was injured, the people who were injured. So he wanted to make a team of who can cure them. On the 5th day, a military helicopter flew over the shelter and dropped some food parcels that you can see in this picture. So in this picture you can easily see a helicopter who is dropping the food packages. These are the food packages. Okay. It then did not return. The youth task force gathered empty utensils from the shelter. Then they deputed the children to lie in the sand left by the waters around the shelter with these utensils on their stomachs, to communicate to the passing helicopters that they were hungry. Okay, so what did they do? As you can see in the picture, that helicopters did not return. So in order to inform that these people are going to die out of hunger, this was a technique used by them. The few of the people lied on the ground, okay, and these are the trays on their stomach, which has empty utensils on the stomach, in order to inform them that these people are very hungry and we are starving out of hunger. Okay, this is a technique to communicate to the passing helicopters that they were hungry. The message got through, and after that the helicopter made regular rounds of the shelter. Okay, now these helicopters used to help the people who were in a problem, in difficulty, who were facing difficulties. So these people try to communicate with the helicopter people that this is how they are very hungry and they need some help. So the helicopter people, while passing through, they understood the message and they visited the shelter homes regularly, and airdropping food and other basic needs. As you can see in the picture, other basic needs, that means clothes to wear, they were given food to eat. Prashant found that a large number of children had been orphaned. Okay, the kids who lost their parents in the cyclone are called now they are orphaned, and there were large number of such children. So he brought them together and put up a polythene sheet shelter for them. Women were mobilized to look after them, while the man secured food and materials for the shelter. As the weeks passed, Prashant was quick to recognize that the women and children were sinking deeper and deeper in their grief. That means the kids who lost their parents, they were facing very grief. Grief means they were in a lot of pain. Okay, and on the contrary to it, they lost their houses, they had nothing to eat, and they were facing so many problems. So they were being depressed out of it, and many women were allotted to these kids to look after them, but they were also sinking, and they were getting more depressed day by day. He noticed this. He persuaded the women to start working in the food for work program started by an NGO, that is non-government organization, and for the children he organized sports events. Now in order to divert their mind, what did Prashant did? So whenever this is a good idea, that whenever you are very much in pain, okay, you are being depressed, whether scolded by someone, or when you feel that you do not have, when you lost someone, that is when many of the family people you might have lost in these pandemic, that is very grief for us also, that many of our relatives have died because of these corona. So here you can relate that if you cannot overcome of any kind of pain, what you can do, you need to divert your mind. Whatever passion you have, you need to divert your mind in that. So here also women were given some work in the work program, food for work program, and the children diverted their mind by playing sports. Okay, he himself loved to play cricket, and so he organized cricket matches for children. Prashant engaged with other volunteers in helping the widows. Widows means who lost their husband. Women who lost their husband are called widows. And children to pick up the broken pieces of their lives. The initial government plan was to set up institutions for orphans and widows. However, this step was successfully resisted, as it was felt that in such institutions children would grow up without love and widows would suffer from stigma and loneliness. Prashant's group believed orphans should be resettled in their own community itself, possibly in new foster families made up of childless widows and children without adult care. So now government decided that the people who have lost their parents, that means the orphan children, and these widows, that means who lost their husbands, such women, there should be a place for them. There must be an institution for them, so that they can all live there collectively. But then they had this problem that if they are put into such institutions, what would happen? They would face loneliness, and these children who are orphaned, they might grow up as a people without taking any love. Okay, they would grow up like this only. So what did they decided, what this Prashant decided, that these orphans should be resettled in their own community, that they should live in this community only, and they need to have the parents who do not have, the people who have lost their children would adopt these children, and the widows and the children without adult care, so they are handed over to such families. So it is 6 months after the devastation of the super cyclone. This time Prashant's wounded spirit had healed, simply because he had no time to bother about his own pain. His handsome, youthful face is what the widows and orphan children of his village seek out most in their darkest hour of grief. By Harsh Mandal. So after 6 months everything became normal, everything became regular. They just cope up with the pain, and this time Prashant's wounded spirit had healed whatever problem, whatever his heart was in pain. Now he's healed, he's happy right now. And these orphan children and all these widows, they look upon Prashant and they become happy too. So this is how Prashant helped these people, and he helped to overcome this difficult time. So this is a wonderful story. So I request you to learn the glossary, to read the lesson again, to understand the story, to comprehend the story, and to write down the glossary. I'll be checking your glossary in our next live session, so kindly be ready. That is, your live session is going to be on Saturday this week, so I'll be checking this glossary in your notebooks. So here we are having first glossary: menacing, that means dangerous and harmful. Incessant, that means unceasing, continual. Swirled, that means moved or flowed along with a whirling motion. Carcasses means dead bodies of animals. Bereaved means lost a close relation or friend through his or her death. Remnants means small remaining quantities. Motley, that means desperate, varied in appearance or character. Disparate, disparate. Tumult means uproar of a disorderly cloud. So this is the glossary. We will continue with the question answers of these lessons. So I request you to write down these also in your notebook. So we will discuss this in a live session, and I'll be explaining you all the question answers in our next video. So kindly till that complete the glossary and read the story again by your own. So that's all for today. I hope you understood the story. These are the question answers. We will be taking care in our next video. So kindly write down the glossary words in your notebook. This was your story, Weathering the Storm in Ersa. So today this is how we completed our story, Weathering the Storm in Ersa.